The Stage 32 had contacted me and told me I placed second, and I was completely surprised because that was my very first horror script. I've never I never thought in a million years I would have even placed in the top 10 in such a competition because there's a lot of great horror writers out there. I've come across a lot of great horror screenplays. I ended up in the competition. We ended up meeting a couple execs. I got a couple mentors out of it. Nick Phillips, to this day, I shoot emails every now and then. We hit it off very well, had very similar tastes of films. And he's always had a delicious lineup of great horror films. So it's really great to kind of pick his brain on a number of things. And Adrian Biddle was another person who I'd met up, and I've kind of chatted with her back and forth. It was a very valuable experience. At the end of the day, I ended up taking, well, I guess in LA it's called like a water bottle tour. It's when you're meeting up with different execs and production companies and whatnot, and just kind of just batting around a couple ideas. One of those, Stage 32 had sent me out to Atlas Entertainment, which I was kind of curious about. I was like, okay, that's interesting. I know they don't do horror films. They had done, they have two divisions. They have a division where they do a lot of DC Comics stuff, which I thought there's no way I'm going to, get the pitch for something like that just yet, at least at this stage of my career. I don't know. Who knows? But there's also a division where they do a lot of tasteful, grounded dramas that usually are period pieces. The last one was American Hustle. I happen to have a little bit of experience working with that director, David O. Russell, on a film a long time ago when I was a PA, and so I met up with the exec there, and I'm kind of like walking through this hallway, and I see like all this. This is one of the most, I don't want to say the most bizarre experiences, but I definitely like remember it like it was yesterday. I'm walking in this hallway, I see all these DC posters up on the wall, Batman, and then I've got like I forgot what they were promoting at the time. I think it was like Superman or something. And I'm walking in the exec's office, and was just saying, Stage 32 had mentioned you're a talented writer, blah, blah, blah. And, what have you been up to? What other scripts do you have? And I pitched this idea I was kind of working on at the time, around the time when I had won the competition, or I placed second, sorry. And I told him about this idea I had called, it was at the time it was called something else, but now it's called Good and Evil. It's a story about Evel Knievel. And long story short, he was very curious. I sent the script over to him in less than a month. This was at the end of last year. And then in January, he had hit me up and said, "Is this out to anybody else? Has anybody else read this?" And I said, "No, you're the first one." He's like, "Good, don't show it to anybody else." Next month, he had said, "Okay, so I got everyone at Atlas excited about this. We want to develop this with you." And I was like, what is going on? This has got to be some kind of like dream or something. And I signed a shopping agreement, and I've been more or less in development ever since. So this past March, April, I've been talking to UCP, Universal Cable Productions, and they want to develop it as a miniseries, and that's currently where it's at right now. And it's currently in the BA Business Affairs, and they've got to work out some legal kinks just because it's based on a true person or real life, but they have the life rights. So that's where I'm at. I'm currently developing it as a miniseries, turning from a feature to now it's going to be a 10 episodic limited series. So yeah, that's kind of what's cooking right now. Okay, so through Atlas, I'm now represented. Ari Lubitz at 3 Arts Entertainment. And again, I was sent out by Stage 32 to meet up with a number of reps and whatnot. And I just hit it off with 3 Arts. And I was curious. Once again, I'm kind of curious because I have a very strong dramatic background, and a lot of their rosters is comedians and very talented comedy writers, like top tier A-listers like Tina Fey and Amy Poehler and just pretty much like all of SNL. But they loved what they saw in Good and Evil, and as well as Devil's Soldiers, which was second in Stage 32. So Yeah, it's definitely opened a lot of doors. I've never, like I said, I've been out here for 5 years. I've never had this kind of rush and experience. One thing I will say is I did come prepared. There was a number of scripts I kind of had on the back burner. Like I said, when I went to Atlas, um, I didn't just go in there with Devil Soldiers. I didn't assume that he read it. I just went based on instinctually. I just kind of said, okay, there's multiple stories I kind of do want to tell, and this might fit into their mold. I always kind of look up whenever I'm doing these meetings. I'm always kind of looking up, the production company, and if I have anything to present to them, if it fits within what they're looking for, that's what I'll pitch to them. I'm not going to pitch, like I said, I didn't pitch Devil Soldiers to Atlas Entertainment when I know, I'm looking on IMDb. There's not one horror film that they produced. So, but they kind of get a sense of my style and whatnot if they had read it. So, yeah, that's one piece of. If there's a piece of advice I could say, is just come prepared afterwards. And yeah, that's pretty much my advice.